Hello, this is a video lesson covering the sheet Open Closed Hi-Hats. A very straightforward sheet with a lot of interesting stuff going on in it. It's a lot of bars, I think 24 bars in total. Each bar is a different version of a beat. There's 8 versions of beat 1, 8 versions of beat 2, and 8 versions of beat 3. The 3 beats are kind of, they represent basic concepts in how the bass drum is behaving in a beat. The first beat is very simply 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we do that 8 times. The second beat is playing 2/8 notes in the bass drum on 1 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The third beat is playing 2/8 notes on the bass drum, but broken up over counts 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So it sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. When you play it in a loop, it sounds like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Each one of these beats you can combine together, take, say, counts 1 and 2 from the first one with counts 3 and 4 of the second one or the third one, and you're going to create a bunch of different sort of situations that the bass drum will encounter when playing 8th notes in a beat in 4/4. Why is that important? Because what happens on this sheet is each bar, the hi-hat opens on a different 8th note count. You'll notice there's the O, there's an O like that, and a plus. The plus means to close the hi-hat with your foot. The O means to open the hi-hat. So for example, in the first 8 bars, first bar, hi-hat opens on 1 and closes on 1 and. Second bar, hi-hat opens on 1 and closes on 2. Next bar, opens on 2, closes on 2 and. Next bar, opens on 2 and closes on 3. Next bar, opens on 3 and closes on 3 and. Opens on 3 and closes on 4 in the next bar. Then opens on 4, closes on 4 and then the final one is opens on 4 and closes on 1. Now obviously you're starting the bar with the hi-hat already closed, so really the plus is shown at the beginning of the beat, but it's really referring to the next bar because you're already starting with the hi-hat closed. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So that happens for each one of these beats. And it gets tricky because what happens there is that now you're going to have the left foot and the right foot doing things independently of one another. So for example, when the hi-hat is open on count 1, the bass drum is playing on count 1. So you have the left foot going up while the right foot goes down. So you want to remember that your center of balance is on the drum throne and you're sitting up straight so that your feet feel comfortable going up and down independent of one another. You're not leaning on one foot or the other to stay up on your seat. And as you play through this, you're going to realize, oh, some of these points in the bar are easier to open the hi-hat on than others. And we haven't even gotten into when the bass drum is playing something other than 8th notes, like playing on a 16th note or something like that. But there's another sheet for that down the road. Right now, this is about getting comfortable opening and closing the left foot on every count, every 8th note count in a bar of 4/4, while maintaining a rock backbeat. And this is 3 different versions of a rock backbeat. That's all there is to say about it. I'm going to play through it. I'll play the first 8 bars. I'll stop. Then I'll start from bar 9 and play until bar 16 and stop. Then I'll play from bar 17 to the end, and then we'll be done. And you will hear an example of each notated bar. When you're practicing this, you should repeat each bar as many times as you want before moving on. This sheet is not a piece of music to be played from start to finish. I'm going to demonstrate it that way, but this is just a sort of like a list or a collection of all the different beat possibilities. So please repeat them as many times as you can. There is a challenge in going from one to the next one, so you should do that as well as a practice. But don't be concerned about playing the sheet as a performance straight through. You'll be focusing on the wrong priorities if you're doing that. That is, a skill to develop. But for now, focus on making sure that left foot is really independent of everything else you're doing and doing opening and closing in the right spot. When the hi-hat is, if there's no notation, no O or plus above the hi-hat, assume it's closed hi-hat. Here we go. So I'll do 8 bars at a time, and I'll stop in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. That's the first 8 bars. The next 8 bars, bars 9 to 16, the beat is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So with the right foot being more active, it begins to get a little more complicated, moving the right and left feet independent of one another and keeping the hands steady, playing eighth notes in the right hand, or if you're playing left-handed, eighth notes in the left hand, and 2 and 4 on your non-dominant hand. For righties, it's the left hand, and for people playing left-hand lead, it'd be your right hand, obviously. Here we go. Bars 9 to 16. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. Okay. Final 8 bars of the sheet. Bars 17 through 24. The beat is this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1. That's all there is on the sheet. Take your time with it. Play slowly, count out loud, keep your eyes on the sheet. You notice I wasn't looking in the camera while I was playing. I was reading the sheet, which was just below the camera. Reading is good. No need to memorize this. I want you to actually be reading the sheet. You will start to understand that it's following a pattern and the open close is moving one spot over each time. So you can play this without following the sheet once you know it. But as you're learning it, read that sheet. Pay attention to all the moving parts, literal moving parts. 2 hands and 2 feet, the hi-hat opening and closing, all of this stuff. Count out loud as you play. Good luck. Enjoy it. And I'll see you the next time. Take care.